Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft every day. Today I'm actually freshly back from Toronto, where I played in the face-to-face games Spotlight event. You needed 6 wins out of 8 in order to make the top 32 draft in a huge sealed event, and I managed to get 3 wins before my third loss. So it could have gone a lot better, but it also could have gone a lot worse. The other thing that I want to do today is make the leaderboard for the 17 lands traditional draft. If I win 2 more matches, then I'm going to hit the minimum threshold of 20 matches to be counted on the leaderboard. As things stand, I think I'm in the top 50 or so players by match win rate percentage in traditional draft for Lorwyn Eclipsed, but we're going to find out for sure in this draft. If I can hit 2 wins, I'll make the leaderboard, and then we'll figure out where I stand. All right, so let's jump in. All right, pack 1, pick 1. We have a rare that is, I would say, pretty good. Lorwyn, Imperfect Naturalist. So when it enters, you mill 4 cards. Then you can bring back a creature or a land, but you put it on top of your library, so it's not a 2-for-1 immediately. And then 5 tap, discard a land, make a worm for each creature. Make a worm creature for each land in your graveyard. This card can totally take over games. I had someone beat me quite resoundingly with it in the last Win-a-Box event, so I think I'm just going to snap that one up. It's also in the best deck, not for nothing. Sam Pardee of Rough Drafts, which is a great podcast that you should subscribe to, recently did an episode on how 1/3s for 2 have historically performed horribly in Limited, but I think that's more important at the common level. So it has a pretty bad body, but I think the effect can be quite strong. So I think I'll speculate on this one. I really wouldn't blame someone for taking a strong common or uncommon over it, but I think we might as well take this and just see if elves are open. It's a nice finisher for the elves deck if you end up in that deck. But of course, we're not just going to tunnel vision and try to commit to it right away. Some good cards in this pack. I do quite like Blossoming Defense. It's a nice little Snakeskin Veil style effect for this format. Creature gets +2/+2 and hexproof. I think there is a strong argument for actually just taking Bogslither's Embrace to ensure that we are going to have some removal in our deck. And maybe even the best card in the deck in terms of just raw performance in the set is Flamekin Guildweaver. I know that's going to be a surprising thing for me to say, but I actually think this card has been performing really well in the Elementals 4 or more cost deck. However, starting out with a Lorwyn, I think I'm between Blossoming Defense and Bogslither's Embrace here. I'm not totally sure. I think I'll lean towards the Blossoming Defense. It's kind of nice to have a bomb and then have protection for that bomb. I also think Tweeze will be an outside and okay pick, but I'm just going to take the Blossoming Defense. Not super impressed by this start, but we have a nice setup if we do end up leaning towards elves. Here, I do think Boggart Mischief performs really well in the sealed event in Toronto. I saw a lot of people just doing great work with this. By the time you're down to 7 or so life and someone plays a Boggart Mischief, it's kind of just kind of the end of the road for you. You can just see they have 5 creatures out. They just need to sneak through 1 or 2 damage and then have their stuff die either to blocking or blighting, and you are just cooked. The thing is, though, in draft, I think it's a whole lot worse because the Goblins deck happens to be performing a lot worse in draft. Here, I think I'm just going to take Dawnhand Eulogist, one of the best commons in the format, and it goes great in the Elves deck. It's going to be nice with Lorwyn, just having a bunch of mill that gives me essentially virtual card advantage. We're looking at potentially wheeling, I would say, Guiltleaf's Embrace, maybe a Moonglove Extractor here. But I'll just take the Dawnhand Eulogist, and I'm quite happy with that one. By pack 4, you really do start to get signals about what's open, and the signals are not looking amazing for the game plan that we've started out with. I would say the best cards in the pack, maybe Crossroads Watcher, but specifically for the Kithkin deck, not so good in the Elves deck. Guiltleaf's Embrace is okay, but pick 4 is really early to be taking Guiltleaf's Embrace. I would rather pick this up pick 10, 11, 12. But there's not that much else in the pack. I don't see any strong signal that we should be going in a different direction. I guess I am seeing a lot of Kithkin cards, so maybe that's something that I should have my eye on. But having said that, I don't think any of these are individually powerful enough that I should go for them. It's possible. I think I'll take Crossroads Watcher over Mischievous Sneakling here, with the idea that if Kithkin turns out to be really open, this can just help me pivot into Kithkin. We really don't want to get married to elves just because we pack 1, pick 1 an elf. So we need to make sure that whatever we're doing is actually the open lane. And here, I do think we're going to probably make a change in direction because there is a Stoic Grove Guide, which is technically an elf, but it is a really weak elf. This is your 20th, 21st, 23rd most playable card in your elf deck. So I'm really not inclined to get married to elves and take Stoic Grove Guide there. I will say none of these 3 white cards are very impressive to me. Spiral into Solitude is a little bit weak because it gives them essentially a Blight Reservoir. I'll probably take Liminal Hold. I honestly, my heart tells me I should just take the Changeling Wayfinder and stay maximally flexible, but I guess I'm fine having the unconditional removal, but 4 mana is very expensive for spot removal in this set. I found this card to be basically just okay. So now we're really having to figure out what the open lane is. There is a Feisty Spikeling, which is a perfectly fine card. I could take Silvergill Peddler, which is a pet favorite of mine, but would be a big pivot. It's really only good in a very dedicated Merfolk deck. Wildvine Pummeler has been not very good, but I guess you can make it pretty good. And then there's Guiltleaf's Embrace. I might just be on Guiltleaf's Embrace. Nah, I'll probably just take the Wildvine Pummeler here. I mean, this is a big chunky creature and it will go in any green-based deck for me. Okay, so here we have 2 very strong cards, which really stick out to me. These are like the most powerful cards that we've seen in a good long while. Bristlebane Outrider is pretty good. It's just an Elf or Kithkin finisher, to be quite honest. It's usually a 5/5 that's hard to block. I think it's just solid. Meander's Guide, I think, is awesome, but you do have to be in a very dedicated Merfolk deck, and that would be quite a pivot for us. So because I think these are close enough in power level, I'm going to take the Bristlebane Outrider. By the way, I also like Stratosorer, and you should not play Lava Leaper. This card is, both of its abilities are symmetrical, so that's why that rare is still in the pack. Here, we have a strong Merfolk again. Wow, people are probably lower on Merfolk than I think that they should be. But we also have a strong elf card. Midnight Tilling is just good. You mill 4 cards and you put a permanent from among them into your hand. You're usually just going to get the best. You're usually just going to get a really strong permanent out of Midnight Tilling. And it also gives you the virtual card advantage that helps, for example, Lorwyn be good. So I'm just going to take that. Marrow Skyswimmer might be the best card in the pack, to be honest. And we are getting a lot of signals that Merfolk are open. But we've passed a bunch of Merfolk, so I'm guessing that Merfolk will not continue to be open next pack. And also, we are seeing a bunch of good green cards, so I don't feel like I'm in the wrong lane. It's just that we're seeing sort of 2 lanes being mostly open. Here, I do like Gravelgill Scoundrel, but it's one of the weakest Merfolk. Every other card is not really playable, and Thought with Charge is okay. I'll take that. Nothing is really playable in here except Unforgiving Aim. Remember, we are playing a best of 3 traditional draft right now, so Unforgiving Aim is a good sideboard card to have. If someone has, for example, Kin Binding, you're going to be really happy to be able to sideboard in the Unforgiving Aim. You know, I almost said that we might wheel the Boggart Mischief from our pack 1, but I thought, no, that's probably not going to happen, and yet here is one from a subsequent pack, so I'll just snap that up. Well, we won't play it, but I'll just take it. Sorry, I had to sneeze, but we got a Stalactite Dagger and something else, I guess something else. Okay, here, what am I going to take? There are several good cards for an elf deck. Let's see what our deck is looking like right now. So we have 1 white card. This card we're not playing. We're hoping not to play Wildvine. Yeah, Elves is really not very open, is it? We have essentially no reason to be in black at the moment, except for this Dawnhand Eulogist. It's very possible that someone to our right is in black right now. Kithkin did seem to be open early in the pack. I'm just going to snap up Alyssa Land Informant. 3/1 for 2 is just a good stat line, and giving you the Surveil is important, and maybe we do end up in Elves. We're probably going to see a lot of Elves coming from the left. There is also a Blight Rod in here, but I'd rather have the chunky creature. Oh, now that is some direction for our draft. Love me a Marilyn. I got to play this at the Limited Championship Qualifier, the Spotlight event, and Marilyn is really, really good at winning games. Marilyn, when an elf or fairy or this creature enters, exile the top 2 cards of target opponent's library, and once each turn you can play a spell with mana value less than or equal to the number of elves and fairies you control without even having to pay its mana cost from among the cards that you've exiled this turn. So that card is really good. I had this with the Bitter Blossom card. I never managed to get them out at the same time, but the idea was every turn the Bitter Blossom makes another fairy, and then you get to keep casting bigger and bigger spells. But anyways, we're just very happily going to take Marilyn. This gives me a nice direction. Now I could be Simic splashing black, or I could be green-black splashing blue. Probably green-black splashing blue is more likely. Here we have a choice between, we could take an Eclipse Kithkin, but it's very likely going to be a double green card in our deck. We could also take, we essentially have the same choice between Land Informant and Blightrot. This may surprise people, but once again, I'm just going to take Land Informant. Very assertive card, especially if you're splashing. It's a card that helps you find your colors. Blightrot is good, but I'd rather just have the assertive start that is synergistic with my deck rather than taking another non-creature spell, even if it is a good removal spell. So Lissa Land Informant it is, and I'm pretty happy with it. Wow, Merfolk remains very open. Okay, maybe I just should have been in Merfolk. It's too late for us now, but this is a good sign that we probably should have just followed the signals into Merfolk. Here, though, I'll take a Safe Right Cavalry, very solid elf card. So I'm just happy to have that one. I'll take it, and I'll be reasonably happy. I will say you could perhaps play Sig. Actually, in my LCQ deck, Limited Championship Qualifier, I had a Sig and a Marilyn, both in the same deck, and Sig was like a good card, even without a lot of other Merfolk going on. You often can just cast it and still deal damage to something, but I think we want to keep our blue splash as minimal as possible. Wow, another Merfolk card. Now here we have some interesting choices. We could take Bloodline Bidding, and it's just got an awesome cool factor. You just bring all your stuff back from your graveyard to the battlefield. It also has Convoke to make it a lot easier to cast. Dawnhand Eulogist is maybe the responsible pick. And there is a 2-drop, which is maybe the even more responsible pick. Also, Rooftop Percher has been a huge overperformer. It is just an insult how open Merfolk are. But I'm actually going to take the Bloodline Bidding. I don't mind having powerful cards in my deck. And with Lorwyn plus Midnight Tilling, I actually have a lot of synergy with this card. Now the trick is I just have to stay alive long enough to cast it. I'm not trying to pick Enraged Flamecaster here. I think it's between Prisma Basher, Moonglove Extractor, Midnight Tilling, and I could even take Foraging Wickermaw to make my splash easier. I actually think I'm just going to take Midnight Tilling. It goes really well with Bloodline Bidding. It's a very nice enabler, and it will help my splash just like Foraging Wickermaw would. I actually think Prisma Basher is a really good pick, but now that I have Marilyn and Wildvine Pummeler and Bloodline Bidding and a bunch of good 4-drops, I don't think I really need to take another big, expensive, chunky creature. Here, it's between, I mean, Luminalisk is a way to stay alive. I do already have 2 combat tricks, so Guiltleaf's Embrace feels pretty weak, but Blighted Blackthorn is very expensive and not synergistic with my deck. But I think I need to have a high creature count. I'm actually going to take, I'll take Luminalisk. It's not a good card, but I actually think my creature count needs to stay really high. Dream Harvest is not good, and Personify is probably the best card in the pack. This is a tough draft. Wanderwine Farewell is actually the best card in the pack, right? Maybe I'll just speculate on the Dream Harvest because it's technically in my colors. But this is not a good card. You really don't want to be playing this. And then here's an Anti-Sentence. Okay, I could technically take a Stratosaur, and maybe I'm actually green-blue splashing black. I'd rather have that than Anti-Sentence, I think. And here's a Stoic Grove Guide. I'm actually perfectly happy to see that, I think. And we're just getting a bunch of Merfolk. Yeah, I was really hoping that the rest of the table would kind of take the signal and go Merfolk. But it looks like the other people in our draft pod were just as stubborn or even more stubborn than I am, which is really bad news for everybody in this pod. Here, I'm definitely not taking another Blossoming Hold. Pretty much a blank pack for us. I'll probably take the Chaos Spewer. My 3-drop slot is looking horrendous at the moment. I do think someone else is in Elves, so we need to get a little bit creative. Wary Farmer, you might think would help us fix into our colors. But at the same time, it is a double green pip card in our deck, so it's not really where you want to be. You don't want to be having hard to cast cards as you're fixing, right? So you just take the Chaos Spewer. It will be cast for black mana. I think that this card is fine, although I really don't have a lot of blight targets. We are really hoping not to play Stalactite Dagger. Oh my goodness. A second Marilyn. Now, I will honestly say, probably what you're supposed to do here is take Moon Vigil Adherence, although the double green pip might be just as hard to cast as the blue pip. So I'm just going to take the second Marilyn for sweetness value, and basically we're just playing a Marilyn build-around deck. That's kind of funny. 2 Marilyns is really funny to me. I wonder if maybe blue is going to be a little bit open in this pack, and I can take things like, maybe I wheel the Glamourmite or a Foraging Wickermaw, for example. Maybe passing those Blight Rots put someone into black. I feel like the person was already in black, though, by the time, early in pack 1. Here we have an interesting decision between, I would say, Vinebred Brawler versus Dawnhand Eulogist are the 2 cards I would think about here. And just looking at my curve, I have a bunch of 4-drops and essentially no 3-drops. I don't even want to play Crossroads Watcher or Unforgiving Aim, so I'm just going to go for the cheaper card. When in doubt in Limited, just take the cheaper card. In terms of wheeling, I wouldn't mind getting back a Great Forest Druid actually in this deck, given that we have the double Marilyns, and so far our only fixing is Midnight Tillings, which is not awesome. and I guess technically like Lissalina Informant. Okay, now this is actually a very interesting decision. I think I am going to take Tend the Sprigs. Not a great card, but we're in a position where we need to make the most of what we have. I have essentially nothing to do on turn 3, and I need fixing. Rooftop Percher. Rooftop Percher, yeah, it's good, but I have a lot of 5-drops, right? So I'm just going to take Tend the Sprigs. This is my thing to do on turn 3. Not a good card, but not an atrocious card either. Let's see. I'll probably just take Surleaf Farrier. I mean, Springleaf Drum is not the type of fixing that you want to play, and Chitinous Graspling is just an understated 4-drop, which is just not a good place to be with like no strong effect at all. So I'll take that. Wow, yeah, we're suffering here. Well, I'll take Scarblade's Malice. We definitely got cut. I kind of knew that I was getting cut, but that you know, black and green were fairly cut colors. Maybe I just take the Bile Vile Boggart, to be honest, and side it out in matchups that are tough for it. Probably cut the Stratosaur, play Vile Vile Boggart. I can cut Stalactite Dagger. I'll play a Rooftops Percher here probably. I guess I could take, let's see, I don't want another Scarblade's Malice. I don't want a Guiltleaf's Embrace. I don't want Anti-Sentence. So it's a pretty easy Rooftop Percher. I don't know what I cut for that, though. Maybe the Grove Guide. I don't think Grove Guide is very good at all for me or in general. Okay, Crossroads Watcher is kind of nice. It's not great in my deck. It means I can cut Unforgiving Aim, though, and just sideboard that in. So maybe I play this, cut the Crossroads Watcher. Actually, yeah, see, we did wheel the Gleamermite, but blue was not that open except for Merfolk. Merfolk specifically was very open. I'm going to take another Tend the Sprigs. I actually wonder if I do just play... Let's see, I have Tend the Sprigs, double Midnight Tilling, play 1 island. I want 4 blue sources, essentially. Tough stuff. Yeah, okay, I'll definitely take... Wow, I mean, last pick, Thought-Weft Imbuer. I was supposed to be Kifkin or something. This draft was all over the place. I definitely feel like Sultai was a reasonable place to be with being past 2 Marylands. It's kind of hard to just say no to that. But wow, Merfolk was so open. Kifkin was so open in the end. A bunch of people clearly were going elves at this draft table. So a little bit painful. Probably I just cut... Luminolisk is pretty darn bad, isn't it? So maybe I just cut Luminolisk. I'll think about this for a second. I think this is what I'm going with. Definitely not my greatest deck ever. Luminolisk is really weak here. I think I'm main decking Unforgiving Aim over the second Tend the Sprigs. Don't really want to be playing this Grove Guide. Yeah, something clearly went wrong here. So this would be a good draft to go back and analyze. Very curious what you would have done differently in the comments. Obviously, going for Merfolk would have worked out a lot better. And going for Kifkin probably would have worked out better, although it seemed kind of cut from the left. So yeah, really curious what other people think. Go ahead and comment and let me know what you would have done. Was there a moment that I missed where I should have known to pivot? All right, gonna keep this hand. Remember, this is a best of 3 draft. There is no hand smoother in this context. So you can get really bad hands in best of 3 draft. So you have to be happy with this. All right, I think I'll take Maryland back. Now I do have to find a blue land. I also milled 0 lands for Lewin, so that's kind of painful. But okay, we have time. So here I will probably go ahead and play... It could honestly be Chaos Spewer blighting onto Lewin, right? So first I attack, because nowhere they're going to block. And then let's just play a 5/4. Sounds kind of good to get some stats on the battlefield. And this doesn't make Lewin any more killable. I guess it means that like Assert Perfection can kill Lewin, but I think that's okay. I think that's better than just playing a 3/3. It seems like the opponent is going to be in an aggressive Kifkin deck, so just getting stats on the board feels good. Okay, Pyrrhic Strike. That's all right, whatever. And then they get to attack with their Kifkin. Sure. Probably I play Crossroads Watcher. I guess, okay, let's think about this for a second. If I Midnight Tillinged here, the idea would be, hopefully I just draw an island. Hopefully I find an island in the top 4. And buff Lewin by finding another land. If it's just lands, still Lewin can start... Yeah, maybe I'll do Midnight Tilling rather than the 3/3. Seems like it has more upside. And I guess I should have done that during my turn in case I just find a 2-drop off of Midnight Tilling. Yeah, that's probably a mistake. Should have done it during my turn, but that's okay. These things happen. I'm just hoping, yeah, I was hoping that they wouldn't assert perfection me. The thing is, I feel like I have time here because all they have is a 2-1 and I've managed to remain at 18 HP. 2, 3, 4, not an island, so we just get a forest. Now the question is, do I even want to return that to my hand? I kind of like the idea of being able to make a wormy. Let's see. Maybe my splash is a little weak. Let us see. I'm glad to mill all these cards, though. These are not very good cards. Yeah, it's a little weird, but I think I'll leave the forest in the bin. And this is a cost, right? So I would make 2 worms. Discard a lane card, and then the thing resolves. So I'm pretty sure it makes 2 worms, and it's not only as a sorcery. Okay, so Moonlit Lamenter is going to draw them into their lands. But it does mean that they can't attack with Eclipse Kithkin, probably. Because I can just make some worms and block. Alright, so I assume they draw a forest here, probably. And play it. Yep. Great Forest Druid is just fine, although now they really are getting out of their mana problems. Let's see if they're bold enough to attack. They shouldn't. They shouldn't attack here. I'm clearly representing that I just want to activate Lorwyn. All right, I'll take it. I wish Maryland counted worms, you know? All right, pitch this, make 2 worms. Ha 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 ha. Worm time. Worms.deck. Okay, Lewin's pretty awesome. They haven't represented any removal for it yet. They had an Assert Perfection, but they had a Pyrrhic Strike, but I haven't seen Assert Perfection. The Pacifism would do it because they could Pacifism it and then Blight to remove the Pacifism. They might just attack here. Like, for all they know, I'm just stuck. Blossoming Defense would be bad for me, but it's still kind of a 1 for 0. I mean, I don't really need that land for anything, so if I trade 4 worms for a Blossoming Defense here, or 2 worms for a Blossoming Defense, I wouldn't be happy. Okay, it's what's about to happen. Oh, they do have 2 mana. I forgot about that. All right, it's about to happen. That's fine. It's a Worm Decimation. Oh, Personify. Oh, that's just fine. I don't mind that. They do get to draw an extra card, so it's kind of cool for them. But I do have a million worms. Okay. Worm Army. Heck yes. This is so cool. So next turn, I'm going to get 9 worms. This is kind of awesome. Timid Shieldbearer is actually quite good for them. It makes combat really hard for me. What am I saying? Combat is never hard when you have 9 worms. Yes. If you like Magic the way that I like Magic, go ahead and click subscribe using the link in the description below. This is how I play Magic. Let's just get 10,000 worms. Do I have a plan for how to win with those worms? No, not really. Well, you know, maybe we'll find a way. Eventually I'll draw an island. I'll play Maryland. I wish Maryland counted worms. Imagine if Maryland counted worms and I would resolve like I would remove like 5 cards from their library. Let's go, Lewin. 14 worms. What's the worm record with Lewin? I'm curious. Tell me what your worm record is. I currently have 14. I guess actually I should have played Crossroads Watcher because I could make like 6 worms. But that doesn't really matter. It's not like I would attack with it. Oh, they played red, but they weren't mana screwed, right? They weren't mana screwed because I had the Great Forest Druid. Unless they have the mythic double red to blight. I guess that's what this just unlocked. No, don't kill Lewin. It looks like they're assert perfectioning Lewin. They highlighted one of their creatures and then they highlighted Lewin. The worm fun might be over. Worm, worm, worm. These guys are so adorable too. Shout out to Edgar, Sánchez, Hidalgo. Awesome worm art. This is how... Oh no, all right. It was just a Reaping Willow. No problem. This is how I'm sitting on top of the leaderboards. Potentially. We don't really know my leaderboard standing yet. Do I just play this guy? Death Touch is good, right? Yeah, just recover a little bit of life. Yeah. This is how I'm sitting on top of the traditional draft leaderboards. I think I'm number like 38 or something if I had met the 20 match win threshold. And I'm at 18 match wins. So if I can get 2 match wins, which with my deck, I really don't know. But if I can, then we'll see if that holds up. Another barrel in. Oh, this is funny stuff. Yeah, my splash is not good enough. I think I need to play a second island. Like I have 1 island hiding in here. No, I should play 10 the Sprigs. Because if I had drawn the Unforgiving aim, right, then I would have been able, and if the Unforgiving aim were a 10 to the Sprigs, then I would have been able to find my island already. Yeah, Shimmerwild's Growth is not going to do it here. I'm assuming they can't really attack. I mean, I do have 14 power and toughness in just pure worms. If they get a flyer, I guess I'm in trouble. Okay. I would like to draw a blue source. I wouldn't hate that. Yeah, a flyer would be an issue. Maybe I do need like reach or flying. All right. Well, I don't have any attacks, do I? You're going to tap something? Okay. I mean, it makes sense for you to do it just in case you draw something that lets you attack. I don't think I interpret this as meaning that they are going to attack because my worm blocks are just pretty good. There's no deal 1 damage to everything in this set, so you know that there's sometimes what is it, like Tremor or something, deal 1 to each creature without flying, or like Pyroclasm or something. There's nothing like that in this set. So let's see what they got. I wonder if they actually are going to make an attack this turn. They're thinking a lot about playing something. The things that would make it possible for them to make an attack are really... Oh, they could have +2/+0 and indestructible, right? So if they have +2/+0 and indestructible... Let's see. It could also be +3/+3. Kind of want to block with Stoic Grove Guide. I mean, I guess I could also just block with 14 worms. Is there any reason not to do that? Yeah, it's like if they have +2/+0 and indestructible and a +3/+3 trick or something, like there's a way that I get like lose a lot of worms, but it's really just 1 activation of Lorwyn. So I'm not feeling too bad about that. I think let's play around +3/+3 by blocking with 7 worms. And would I rather lose the worms than the Stoic Grove Guide? No, I would actually rather lose the Stoic Grove Guide than 5 of these worms. So let's block with 2 worms and a Stoic Grove Guide. The worm math is like really complicated, you know? So +2/+0 indestructible, they get to kill a worm and a Stoic Grove Guide. It's like not so bad for me. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I blocked the correct number. Oh, I actually didn't think that through because they could have done 1, 2. They had exactly enough mana to pump their team and do +3/+3. So I didn't think about that. Okay, so what just happened? So you gave this +1/+1, and you have a combat trick. Or you can pump 1, 2, 3, 4. No, oh yeah, you can pump once. Yeah. So you kill a Stoic Grove Guide and a worm. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I like their thinking, exiling Eclipse Kithkin with Champion. No, we're down to only 14 worms. The all-time worm count is reduced. Okay, and then you get to bring it back with your Reaping Willow. I understand. All right, well, there's more worms where that worm came from. We're down to 14 cards in our library. Okay, well, I don't think I can attack, right? No way. They would like gain 6, 9 life. Yeah. I basically am never going to have attacks, I think. I do like that they're playing like basically no removal as far as I can tell. But I also am playing basically no removal as far as I can tell. Yeah, I need a little bit more fixing. I think I'll play another 10 the Sprigs. So you're going to make a 1/1 every turn and then make infinite mana? Sure. Not literally infinite, but that's a lot of creatures. That is a lot of creatures. Okay, you make this guy Vigilancy. Yeah, I really need to put my flyer in. A flyer would completely break this stalemate. Although I will say a flyer from my end is not as good. Block, block, block. So anything past 6 would not die to the indestructible trick. So, okay, is there a faster way for me to do this? Yeah, okay, there we go. I will, what's the word for, there's like double block, triple block, and so on. What's the word for when you do it with 14 worms? Are we having fun, folks? Are we having fun? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It just disappears into the stack of worms as it descends through 14 worms. I've never seen that animation before. Now, if they have a way to blight, then they're going to get to just keep bringing that thing back. What are we up to now? 15 worms? We're still lower than our all-time worm count, aren't we? Yeah, Crossroads Watcher is getting chunky. Oh, that's kind of cool. So I can activate it, make a huge Crossroads Watcher, and then Walker, and then block. Lissaline Informant could help me find an island. That card's fixing, right? That card's fixing. Okay. So that happens and that happens. I could technically save the Stoic Grove Guide. I kind of want those worms, you know? Like I want an island, but I also kind of want those worms. But the thing is, the worms are not a winning plan for me, and putting a land in the bin is going to let me make more worms next time. So what I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I have enough lands. Just pitch that. That's fine. And then remove this guy. Yeah, we're not playing elves. We're playing worms. This is a worms deck. This is Lorwyn's first worms deck. Not really. I'm sure other people have done this too. Can I attack? Like, what if I attack here with Vinebred Brawler plus Crossroads Watcher, for example? They let me go to attacks. So, like, the idea is they could tap my Luminolisk, but I have good blocks. Do I have good blocks? I have chump blocks. Kind of feel like I want to be attacking. Okay, suppose I attack with the Brawler. It has to be blocked by something. They probably block with their random 2/2. Then Crossroads Watcher cannot even be pumped because it's not an elf. Sounds bad. Sounds bad. I am kind of waiting. I mean, I just want to draw an island or tend the Sprigs. I should have taken that Changeling Wayfarer whenever I had the opportunity to do that. Tapping Luminolisk, sure. Oh yeah, I have Bloodline bidding in this deck as well. What would I get back? Chaos Spear, Safe Right, Dawnhand Eulogist. Dawnhand Eulogist is a risky one because it mills me 3. I have Bloodline bidding. Bristlebane Outrider, I guess. What did you do? Give everything another... Oh yeah, +1 in first strike. Okay, that might be the end of the road for us. I have Scarblade's Malice. I don't think I milled that one. But yeah, I have 10 the Sprigs. I mean, Maryland would feel pretty winning because Spiral into Solitude on the Brawler. Okay. Maryland would feel pretty winning because it has flying, although they're on like a really big clock now. Okay, so what do I want to kill? I would say, oh wait, you have first strike. Yeah. So I can't really kill anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Probably just sack some worms, right? So let's block this one. Let's block that one. Let's block this one. Let's block the 4/4. Let's block the 4/3. Let's block the 4/3. Nothing has trample, right? None of you have trample? Okay, and then block a 3 something. Let's see. So I'd be taking 3, 6, 9. Yeah, that's worth a few worms. That's worth a few worms. I think I'll just spend some worms here. I can take 1, right? Definitely worms are holding back more than 1 damage. Yeah, let's just do this. No one has trample, right? No one I'm blocking has trample. Okay. Yeah. Goodbye to my 10 worms. Okay, so I take 2 damage. Oh, I take 3 damage. That sounds fine. They do gain a bunch. What are they doing? They have 2 mana for what? Yeah, Bridget lets them, like, quintuple pump. You can get rid of my Vinebred Brawler with your extra mana. Okay. Bonk, 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 bonk. Magic is fun. All right, I take 3. You go to 40. Good bloodline bidding. None of my stuff died. That's so sad. I'm really worried that bloodline bidding is just gonna mill my island. Kind of want to draw the island before I bloodline bidding, but I do feel like I'm running out of time. I don't know if I want to even show them bloodline bidding. It might be time to just go to the next game. So if I bloodline bidding, I would tap 3 worms, get a few blockers. Can Marilyn even save me here? I feel like with Brigid plus the like quintuple pump on the shield bearer. Yeah, let's just go to the next game. I don't really want to show them bloodline bidding. Yeah, so how are we going to sideboard here? I definitely need the other 10 this breaks. Rooftop Percher seems really good. And probably I cut some random thing like this charge and cut Unforgiving Aim. I didn't see any. I mean, a flyer, if they have a flyer, I would want to be able to kill it, but I don't think that they have one. Maybe I then cut the Stoic Grove Guide and play like a Bile Vile Boggart, actually. Grove Guide's pretty bad in my deck. They did seem worried about Luminalisk. I wonder if Wildvine Pummeler is better. But yeah, I'll just keep it like this. So now I have 1, 2, 3 hard ways of finding my blue. And then I also have double Midnight Tilling plus a bunch of Surveil. Still feels like it should be okay. What happened? Okay. All right. Come on. Come on, worms. You better save me this time. I will be on the play. All right. Actually, this hand is not good. But hopefully Midnight Tilling can find me a creature. Okay, Chaos Spear is kind of good, right? I can play that. I'm actually perfectly happy to play that as a 3-2. All right, yeah, we get a Lissalan Informant. I'd rather have that than anything else in there. Yeah, I'll just play a 3-2 probably. Eclipse Kithkin. What a good card. What a ridiculously good card. And they had it on turn 2 both times. I wonder if they have multiples of this. Although we pretty much saw their whole deck last time and there was only one in there. All right. Chaos Spear is really awkward now. So maybe I do just play Lissalana Informant. Pick my next draw. I still don't have any creatures in the bin. So it'd be kind of nice to have that for bloodline bidding. Oh, I wouldn't have gotten Chaos Spear back because it's not an elf. That's actually worth thinking about. But this doesn't even give me something to blight onto. Yeah, I think I do just play it. And if I Surveil into the bin, then I would trade with the Kithkin. Yeah, I'll bin that. Bin that, put my Lissalana Informant in the bin, and I'm just working up to a big bloodline bidding. If I can ever cast it. I do need to land some creatures in order to cast it. Okay, they choose not to attack, which I don't hate. I'm going to offer the trade because they didn't want to trade. I wonder if they have the 3-2 flat, or 4-2 flash, I mean. Personify. Oh, making a 1-1 and then blocking. Oh, and then you get value out of your Kithkin. Yeah, that's good magic. Wow, pulling a Champion of the Klatchin out. Well, that's quite ridiculous. Yep, put that straight in the bin. Play the Cavalry. You're going to play your Champion of the Klatchin, exiling something from your hand, but you can't attack with Eclipse Kithkin. Next turn, I'll play Maryland, rip 2 off the top. And they didn't have a lot of removal. I wonder if they have Unforgiving Aim. Or if maybe they sideboarded in removal to be able to better deal with Luen. They do seem to be on 16 lands. They also have this random red splash. Did we see what the red splash was for? I can't remember. I can't remember anything that costs red mana. What am I missing? Well, here comes Maryland. Oh, yeah. Okay. Don't mind if I do. All right. Maryland was already worth a card. And then I do attack with this. Yep. Absolutely, I should attack with this. Bonk. Yeah, what was the red for? I can bloodline bidding for elf. Oh, Erdu. Wouldn't mind an Unforgiving Aim. Yeah, do I just bloodline bidding here? I can also tap down Erdu. Okay, let's think for a second. Okay, I think what I want to do is Bloodline Bidding, tapping everything except, so tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Darn it, I would have to actually tap everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't hold up a land and also hold up Wonderbrine Trapper. That's ugly. My other option is tap Erdu, crack in with both, and then play both of my other creatures. Yeah, okay, maybe that's better. And then next turn I have a lot of flexibility to Bloodline Bidding. Let's try that. Then Erdu's going to crack back for 5 with lifelink. Oh, hold on. I actually should not do this because I don't want to tap both of those creatures. Okay, so maybe maybe I do just Bloodline Bidding here. Naming Elf. Bring back 2, and that gives me like a nice Maryland trigger, double Maryland trigger. Exile the top 2, and then I get to play something that costs 3 or less, and just hope I hit something sweet. Oh yeah, don't mind if I do keep a Maryland on top. So these two come in Surveil, and then I can play, would I rather play Gallant Foul Knight or the Prideful Feastling? Probably Gallant Foul Knight is good. My stuff gets +1. It does not have first strike, but neither does Erdu, so then I get to attack with this guy. Well, that's pretty sweet. Then they get to crack me back for 5 lifelink. But I have a pretty good attack next turn. They can't flip Erdu. It's just a 5/5 flying lifelink. It's like a Baneslayer Angel kind of a thing. Puts them up to 16. Yeah. Okay, so I definitely want the destroy target creature with flying. This is something they were digging for last game, I guess, to get around the Worm Force. Oh, their deck is nice. Double Champion of the Klaachin, Erdu, at least 1 Eclipse Kithkin, maybe 2. They have Personifies Protection. They have a red splash for something mysterious. They are playing a bunch of these like filler changelings, but you know, you do what you have to do. Like it helps them curve out, and they probably have Kithkin synergies. I mean, Eclipse Kithkin is okay. Bree is what you're splashing for. That's pretty bizarre. Yeah, I'm not sure that is worth it. But it does gain lifelink. Lifelink is pretty good. Lifelink makes it really hard for me to deal with their stuff. What does this do? Pyrrhic Strike. How did they get that off the top? I'm sorry, where did this even come from? Oh, because they gained life from Erdu, yeah. So they get to Pyrrhic Strike my Maryland. Yeah. Yeah, that's annoying. Well, thankfully, there's more where that came from. I guess I could have attacked Safe Right Cavalry because of the threat of activation, but I know that I don't want to do that. Protective Response, you say. This is once each turn. So that means I can just attack 1, 2, 3. I want to hold back 1 non-Maryland creature. Well, Maryland's not blocking Erdu. Oh, but it would block whatever Bree throws. So I'll attack with Gallant, Lissalin Informant, and Safe Right Cavalry here. No, I'll attack with all 3 because I'm going to tap Maryland. No. I want to have Maryland back to block something here. Yeah, for sure. So 4, 7, 10. That would be 13. They probably chump with Feisty Spikeling, I would guess. But also people online are like really aggressive, so they might just take, hoping that they can just attack with the Spikeling and race me. They're not going to block with Bree, are they? There's no way. Okay, yeah. The chump like makes tons of sense to me. Sure. What's happening? They can kill Wonderbrine Trapper? It looks like it. How, though, with 3 white? You could have your own protective response, I guess. You can't tap Bree. What is happening here? Okay, they're playing a Champion of the Klaachin. Sure. Exiling their Eclipse Kithkin. Then we can just go to damage. and then we end. Too bad that I didn't get to play the other guy, but okay. So if Bree makes champion fly, I'm just gonna block the champion, right? Am I okay with that? Because then any removal spell, yeah, maybe I just tap the champion in response, or I tap Erdu, preserving my own life total. Do I want to block or not block? That's the real question. I kind of just want to keep Marilyn alive. The only problem is I don't have another elf to come in next turn, so maybe Marilyn is actually not so good. Well, let's let the ability resolve. The question is, do I tap Erdu or do I tap champion? It must be the case that I tap Erdu. Tap the informant. I don't care if that lets you attack with Spikeling. If you attack with both, you go to 14, but I'm representing a lot of damage on the backswing. Like a lot of damage. So I'll definitely just take that. There's no reason to throw Marilyn in harm's way there. You go to 14. I can tap currently your only blocker. What do you have? Another Pyrrhic Strike? Spiral. Oh, that's not so bad, right? It's a little bad, but it's not so bad. And then what do you get to do? Put this into play. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's really bad for me, them getting 2 blockers there. Okay, so 3, 9, 13. Let's see. I don't have an elf. So I can tap down there 2/2, attack with these 3. They block and block, taking 7, but then I tapped something. So I think no tapping is really allowed here. So let's play a land next. Attack, 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 attack. Yeah, Bridget is a very nasty one. Making 2 blockers was really good for them. Maybe I should have taken those Blight Rots. Would they be better than the Lissalina Informants here? Very possibly. Very possibly. Wow, these have been some pretty long games. I guess it's my fault for playing these worms. Their deck is not really a straightforward curve-out deck at all in the end. Not at all. Okay, I think I'll just let all these trades happen. Like, I could buff this Lissalina Informant, but it would be at the expense of playing all my other creatures. So let's just go ahead and allow these trades. I get to Surveil too. Surly Fairy goes in the bin. Anything that's not an elf goes in the bin. Yeah, Tend the Sprigs is not good. Not good. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because I need to be able to block a 4/5. If it had 5 toughness as a reach creature, or even maybe if it were an elf, it would be enough, but it is not. Okay, I'll Blight onto Marilyn. She's going to get exiled next turn anyways, I assume. And we're racing against some giant chunky lifelinkers, and they're also going to like rip a bunch of cards off the top. I wonder if there's any way that they actually mill themselves out here. Exile cards on the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they have probably 4 lands left. Yeah, they can do a lot of exiling, can't they? Let's tap down Erdu, clearly. Yeah, I was wondering if it's like exile cards equal to the number of amount of damage you dealt or something. And then maybe I'm supposed to let Erdu through so that after 2 turns, they just start exiling into oblivion. Riverguard's reflexes untapping Erdu, killing me. Okay, GG. Wow. What a match. Yeah, their deck was pretty good, but I think my deck is just quite bad, to be honest. If I'd hit the Marylands that first game, though, before they found Erdu, then we had a chance. But anyways, okay, so we're out of contention for... Actually, I wanna be main decking the second Tend the Sprigs, don't I? We're out of contention for getting play-in points. That's fine. You know, you don't get play-in points every time you do a best of 3 draft. But I really would like to win the next 2 for the simple reason, and I think I'll play the Rooftop Percher over Stoic Grove Guide. For the simple reason that I need 20 match wins to get on the leaderboard. I'd like to maintain a pretty good win rate, although this actually is already winning 2 out of 3 matches is already substantially below my current win rate. So no matter what, this draft will pull me down a bit. But I don't actually hit the leaderboard with this draft unless I get those 2 match wins. So very much fingers crossed for 2 match wins here. Pretty bad, but I guess I don't really want to mulligan. Midnight Tilling should hopefully get me a creature. Yeah, the opponent's on 5 cards, but if they have a very active 5 cards, then it actually could definitely be trouble for us. All right. Play a forest and off we go. All right, here's a swamp. And then we get to Midnight Tilling. Not counter mana. Here it doesn't matter that I didn't Midnight Tilling main phase because I cannot play whatever I Midnight Tilling. No matter what. All right, Timid Shieldbearer, that's fine. And then end of your turn, I will Midnight Tilling. 2, 3, 4, and I'll bring back, oh, sure, Luminolisk, right? I just want creatures. Here. Luminolisk is an example of this draft not really working the way that it should. It's an example of a draft gone wrong. Wow, I could have had such a good Merfolk deck. I really want my island. This splash did not work out at all either. Maybe I was supposed to take, there was a Forging Wickermaw at some point that I took something like Lissalina Informant over. Probably should have taken the Forging Wickermaw. Changeling, I really regret not taking that Changeling Wayfinder. I forget what I took over it. Maybe like a Dawnhand Eulogist or something. I think it was something where it felt clearly way better. And yet, with double Marilyn, well, I also don't know if I even had the second Marilyn at that point. Oh well. Now this needs to mill an elf for me to even get the drain, and it did not. Wow, and I've milled 8 cards and no elf, but that's a symptom, or 7 cards. That's a symptom of my bad deck building though, right? Like, I don't have the elf density that an elf deck should, so it makes Dawnhand Eulogist a lot worse. Having to play like double Crossroads Watcher is not so great. But okay, I mean, you know, our deck is not a flaming train wreck. Like, if we'd ripped something a little bit better off of Maryland last game, I think we had a good chance. Are they going to Blight and do this? Really? I mean, that would be slightly odd. But yeah, I guess there is Destroy Target Enchantment in my deck even, so it's not too foolish. I wonder if this means, okay, I thought they might be about to attack and play a Riverguard's Reflexes. Here it's tempting to play the Lissalina Informant and try to like see if I can find an island or a Tend the Sprigs. I now have 2 Tend the Sprigses, an island, another Midnight Tilling. Oh no, I've used both of my Midnight Tilling, so that's unfortunate. Or I milled one of them. But I think I'll just be mana efficient, play Luminolisk while I have 2 different permanents. Okay, it's not Riverguard's Reflexes. I figured if they had it, they probably would have attacked. Oh, also, this has Menace, so they can't like Riverguard's Reflexes and block. And yeah, let's use the Luminolisk while we have 2 creatures of different colors. Very weak play for me there, but what can you do? Okay, now this is a very scary... What do they have? In blue? They have to have something. They're not just throwing away their creature. This is a Death Toucher. +2/+2 and First Strike doesn't do it. You could have 2 +2/+2 and First Strikes, but I don't even think you have 1. Aquatex Reflexes. Oh, maybe it's Personify, and that's why they blighted onto that guy? In which case, I don't care. Destroy target blocking creature. Yep, it could be destroy target blocking creature. I guess it's destroy target blocking creature. And in that case, I'm very happy for you to just do it to Luminolisk. Yep. Successful read. Aw, yeah. Let's go. Unlimited Splash. Put that straight in the bin. All right. Pretty happy that I got that read correct. Do I just hold this forest for Lorwyn? Lorwyn's going to be pretty sick if I draw it. Yeah, honestly, sure. I don't think there's a lot that I need like way more lands for. I guess I should play it out though, because if I draw an island, it would be nice to be able to Maryland and then thought left charge on the same turn, drawing a card. Or like play any 4-drop and thought left charge. So actually I think I should start playing lands. Oh yeah, that is the best possible draw. That is actually the best possible draw in my deck. Oh, and I get a TAM out of the deal? Yes, please. Not gonna attack though, am I? Or yeah, I'll attack. No, let's not attack with Dawn Hindulogist. Right, just give it another turn. Okay. We got there. Pretty happy with that. Now, what did we see? I mean, they were on 5 cards, so it's a little hard to see. I guess Unforgiving Aim could be good because they had the enchantment. Maybe I cut Luminolisk and play an Unforgiving Aim, to be honest. Luminolisk is like so unconvincing. I really want Dream Harvest to be good. But I don't think that's where we're supposed to be at. Let's just do this. Kind of like this. All right, come on. Let's just get those 2 wins. Let's just get those 2 wins. What is this poem? It makes me curious. Is this a Lorwyn, like traditional Lorwyn poem? All right. Lissalina Informant? Yeah. Okay, this is like my best hand yet. One of the best hands that my deck is capable of, probably. It gets obviously a lot better if we can find blue for Maryland. But, you know, hey, maybe Lissalina Informant plus Midnight Tilling could help us with that. Unwelcome Sprite is a really good one. But, hey, we found a land for our Vinebred Brawler. Do I want a swamp? I think not. I think lands are pretty replaceable here. And Midnight Tilling especially can help me get lands if I turn out to need them come turn 4. And I really want blue land specifically. Maybe I'm supposed to play a second island, to be honest. My mana requirements are not that ultra stringent. If need be, like if they flash in something, well, no, I was going to say I could play Scarblade's Malice, but I don't even think I would want to. Oh, Riverguard's Reflexes. Oh, Personify? Sure. So I get to Surveil, and then I play a Vinebred Brawler. Yeah, that's fine. You also get to double Surveil, though. That's pretty good. I'm not going to spend Scarblade's Malice here. Okay, they saved themselves from drawing 2 turns of lands. That's a big game. Yeah, Personify is awesome. What a good card. So they traded 1-for-1 Personify for my 3-1. Yeah, I'll happily draw 10 this breaks. Absolutely. But they did get to Surveil 2 because of Unwelcome Sprite. So that's really helpful to them. Remember, when you're evaluating Personify, cards that, like instants or sorceries that immediately make a creature look worse because they look like they don't affect the board. But Personify is actually a 1/1 flash that flickers target creature. That's how you need to think about it. Just picture, when you look at this card, picture a 1/1 creature with flash that says when it enters, exile target creature you control, then return it. No, they had the Merfolk deck. This is like in pod draft when you have to play against the person who like has the deck that you watched go by. 1, 2, 3. Could I be more obvious about this? Grab my island, and we get to play Maryland next turn. So, I don't know, maybe Vinebred Brawler holds back Deep Channel Duelist. Very likely they're just going to attack with Feisty Spikeling and Unwelcome Sprite, putting me down to 11. I play Maryland, and hopefully it sticks. But if Maryland doesn't stick, then we're in big trouble. However, if they do attack with those 2 and don't play another blocker, then I do get to trade Vinebred Brawler for Deep Channel Duelist because it has Lure. Right? They have to block if able. Okay, so they're holding back their Unwelcome Sprite. I can't block this because it is first strike, by the way. They're holding back their Unwelcome Sprite so that they have another blocker for if I attack with Vinebred Brawler, and their Deep Channel Duelist does not have to block. What that tells me is that they don't have another blocker that they would rather put in front of Vinebred Brawler. Oh no, they get to untap the Spikeling. So there was no discernible reason for them to hold back the Sprite, right? Because they could have attacked with both and then untapped this one. No, I don't get it. If you get it, then let me know what's going on, because I don't get it. Hopefully I find something for 2 or less. Oh, brutal. That's brutal. That's really brutal. And now they have a turn to kill it. Well, I'm going to go with no attacks. I mean, they have a bunch of essentially unblockable creatures, but I think I need to be in the business of preventing as much damage as possible to myself. If they don't attack with Unwelcome Sprite, then I know that they don't have a combat trick. Okay, oh, that's really good news. Now I get to play Rooftop Percher, keep my life total high, exile some stuff. Yeah, this is really, really good for me. I'm going to do this, exile some stuff, and I get to play something for 3 or less, hopefully. No way. Are you serious? Well, at least I got 2 good cards. I will definitely attack. No, because they could have destroy target attacking creature. I really want to keep Marilyn alive for the moment. So let's not get Marilyn into combat. No, because if they had destroy target attacking or blocking creature, they would have used it, right? They would have swung in with the feisty spikeling. So I should actually clock them for not having that. That was a kind of a chicken move to not attack there. Well, next turn I can 10 this Briggs and make a 3/4 with reach. That's really good. I really want to play the Dawnhand Eulogist, though. I want to start getting some value from this Marilyn, which has so far done squat for me. And also, there is an elf in my bin, so the drain should be good. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I also have a lifelink trick, so that's kind of nice. So let's play that just before anything else. Play the Dawnhand Eulogist. And come on, like, I have 4 creatures here. Okay, good. Now we're finally getting some stuff. Oh, Marilyn. Goodbye, Marilyn. Goodbye, Marilyn number 2. Would I rather have Kullwrath Mystic or Silvergill Peddler? Kullwrath Mystic is kind of sweet because it blocks Feisty Spikeling, but they're probably not even attacking with Feisty Spikeling. The Feister, as I call it. Could I attack with this? Yeah, I could. So let's play that one. And then I will go ahead and attack with these 2. Maybe even these 3. Because I have a bunch of blockers. That feels good. And I have a lifelink trick. Let's buff Marilyn. 6/6 flyer is no joke. So I think it's time to just turn up the pressure. They could have a removal spell. I really don't think that they do. I just don't think they do. Do I go for lifelink here? Nah, I'd rather be able to play Midnight Tilling. I would really like to get an elf to just keep ripping Marilyn triggers. Marilyn is so awesome. It feels like the opponent maybe flooded out a bit. Oh, I kind of took away their Stratosaur and Wanderwine. Oh, Abigail. Yeah, that's a good one. You get some lifelink. Some lifelink going on. Yeah, Abigail's a good card. But they didn't really have a big threat to put that on. So their last card before was a land, I guess. Maybe I was just playing a little bit chicken, huh? Okay. Well, reach is going to be really good here. And also being able to lifelink if I need to, which I might. So I'm going to Midnight Tilling end of turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I guess I'll get a Chaos Spewer. Not exactly the dream card for me, but it's not an elf, which is extra bad. But hey, I saved myself a bunch of turns of drawing lands. Ugh. No opportunities for elves. Okay, so I think I really do want to attack with Silvergill Peddler. Okay, so the question is, do I just attack with everything? I'm going to gain 4. Or, yeah, and then I'll play a blocker and another blocker. That's got to be good, right? That has got to be good. Yeah, like the most that they're representing next turn is 3, 4, 5, 6 damage, something like that. I think it's time to just attack with everything. And I get to loot with my Peddler. Oh, Unforgiving Aim is a good one. So maybe I actually pitch the Chaos Spewer. Then I'm going to play 10 the Sprigs, Unforgiving Aim, and Scarblade's Malice by playing my Swamp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7. Yeah, I'll pitch Chaos Spewer. Unforgiving Aim is a sweet one because I can just do that right now. I will kill the Feisty Spikeling. Oh, I guess this was actually like a risky attack because I guess I shouldn't have attacked with Rooftop Percher. My bad. I forgot that I would just be giving them like Rooftop Percher for free. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hold on. Isn't this a lethal attack? No, it's not. 5, 8, 11. Oh, I'm 1 short. Okay. These are the things that happen in life sometimes. Oh, wait, no. I'm not 1 short. What's going on in my brain? 8, 12. It was lethal. I don't know. Okay. Good stuff. Well, hey, we got a match win, right? Okay, I had to take a nice long break after the last one because I don't know what was going on in my brain, but I just suddenly was unable to do attacking logic or math. So nice and rested up now, and let's go on to match number 3. All right, I would like to be on the play, please. Ooh, that's a nice hand. Yeah, I'll keep this one. Yeah, I'm a little worried. I think my deck is it struggles a little bit, but see if we can't get a nice 2-1 result here. 2-1, I would be perfectly happy with, especially after how tough a draft that was. Very tough draft table. All right, I'll just crack in with Surly Farrier. I could Midnight Tilling here, and I would get rewarded if I pick the 1-drop out and I can cast it. So I guess I actually do that. I mean, I would really hope that that's not what happens, but there's nothing else that I'm going to do. Okay, that's a different 1-mana spell, and yeah, I'll just be grabbing Marilyn. A little awkward to have a totally face-up Marilyn, but hey, I mean, they're not in, like, colors where they have a lot of options of removal to save for it, likely, and we're about to play a bunch of other threats that they would like to remove. So here, I might play the Bristlebane Outrider because it gets better when you start playing other creatures. Although it is not an elf, having no elves out when I play Marilyn is a little bit worse, so maybe I wasn't supposed to do that. I'm going to not attack this Surly Farrier into Bristlebane Outrider. I just don't really feel like making that trade. I think Vigilance could end up being really good here. Okay, so I probably do want to play Marilyn. The thing is, if they have Assert Perfection, let's see, let's actually think for a second. I actually think playing Marilyn sounds kind of awesome because then I can Bloodline Bidding bringing Marilyn back. The only thing is maybe I would want to have another few elves in play when I do that. So actually maybe it's better to play the Dawnhand Eulogist for right now so that I make Marilyn better, or so that I make Bloodline Bidding better. Bring back Marilyn and simultaneously get a bunch of triggers. That sounds really good, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need to have 2 creatures still alive in order to do that. Let's play the Dawnhand Eulogist. Just makes it, frankly, pretty awkward for them. And then I think I'll give the out... I'm not going to be blocking with this guy, with the Surly Farrier, so let's just give the Outrider Vigilance Kraken for 6. And it puts the opponent in a bit of a tough spot, I think. And we got another elf in our bin, so now Bloodline Bidding is going to be better if they have a Assert Perfection for our Marilyn. And if they have to spend a turn Luminous holding Marilyn, I think I'm feeling pretty good about that. All right, so now I'll play the Marilyn. The other thing is now I have another elf, so it makes it more likely that I get to play whatever I rip off of Marilyn. Ooh, Spiral into Solitude. That is a good one. Probably put it on the Down Guard rather than Miss Meadow Council. Yeah, because then I can attack with my Dawnhand Eulogist, and they can't really double block the Bristlebane Outrider. So this is nearly a lethal attack. They can double block Dawnhand Eulogist, but they lose a Miss Meadow Council to it. Well, I guess it didn't really matter. If I had put the Spiral into Solitude on a Miss Meadow Council, they would... Oh, they could have blocked with Reluctant Downguard and Gold Metal Nomad. That would have been... Okay, so that was the correct play. And then if they don't kill Marilyn, I can Safe Right Cavalry. Next turn, triggering Marilyn. Otherwise, I can Bloodline Bidding, bringing Marilyn back. Unless it's Luminous. The Oblivion Ring that gains 2 life. Luminous, whatever. That card would be the best card that they could play in this situation, I think. Well, maybe not the best. Yeah, pretty much you have to deal with Marilyn. Like, even Kin Binding would not be an issue for me here. You're facing a lethal attacker in the air. So yeah, gaining some life and removing my threat would be the best. I do wonder if this is going to be an Assert Perfection. It looks like it. Okay, so Bloodline Bidding it is. I could first attack with the Bristlebane Outrider. It kind of would have made sense to attack with the Gold Metal Nomad, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So no, I don't do that first. I just do this, right? I just do this. Because this way I pump my Bristlebane Outrider. Let's just not do anything stupid here. So elf, elf, elf. Just making absolutely certain that I'm picking the right one. Choose elf. Back comes everybody. And a bunch of Marilyn triggers because they all see each other when they enter. Drain you for 2. exile the top how many cards? This is pretty awesome. Ooh, I can play a Flock Imposter, bouncing Dawnhand Eulogist, which is going to be lethal next turn. Yeah, that's probably better than playing Brigid. So I bring back Dawnhand Eulogist. If I Flock Impostered something that I play off Marilyn, you know, I need to be careful not to do that. So this could be double blocked. Let's not give them that opportunity. Yeah, Flock Impostering. Suppose I had played like a Brigid and then I Flock Impostered the Brigid, it would go back to their hand. So that's something that you have to be careful of. It's probably a bit of an edge case, but yep, this is nice. I have lethal in 3 different ways. I feel like Flock Imposter was a nice find. All right, looks like a attack of desperation. Can't really imagine what is going to kill me here. I'll probably just block like this. No real reason to throw my Flock Imposter in front of the 1/2 here. And let's just see if Flock Imposter gets the job done. Bonk. All right, on to game 2. Do I want to make any changes? They clearly have a fast deck. I didn't see any flyers that I remember. So I don't really want to put an Unforgiving Aim or Wildvine Pummeler. Stoic Grove Guide. Maybe I put in a Bile-Vile Boggart. It's pretty good against some of those Kithkins. And cut. I don't know. Luminolisk seems good, though. What would I cut for that guy? Surly Farrier's not really what... Maybe I cut Thoughtweft Charge. I'm not really the aggressor in this matchup, so having a little bit more of a defensive on-board card seems better than having a highly offensive combat trick. Yeah, okay. I think I like that sideboard. On to the second game. Well, that's certainly not a keepable hand, so we'll be mulliganing that. Forest and Island, but everything in my hand is green. I'll certainly keep this. I probably put back Chaos Spear. Like, this makes Luminolisk a lot better, but I think just being able to play all of my stuff is more important. This is definitely going to be an uphill battle. I must find a swamp, and I don't really have a plan for how to do so. Dang, I really should have taken that Changeling Wayfinder. Okay, that's a nice find right there. That makes my hand a lot better. The opponent seems to be stuck on white. Now, there was a situation where someone played double black, and then it turned, and I thought they were stuck in the arena direct. I will absolutely attack here. And it turned out they were just saving up. Oh, you're going to block? Okay. Turned out they were just saving up for the Bitter Blossom card that costs double black and has flash. And I saw a lot of that card at the limited championship qualifier. Oh, that's a nice, this is whenever another creature, not one or more. Yeah, so you get a 4/4. Nice. I saw a lot of that card at the limited championship qualifier. That 1/1 flash, I actually had it in my deck. That was sweet. It's just such a good mythic. Okay, then I'll play this card. Then I'll play a Bristlebane Outrider. I'm the beatdown, right? I am the beatdown. No one can convince me otherwise. So I'm just going to put stats on the board. Attack for potential 5 damage. Vigilantly. Not really a word. And then I'm going to play Bile-Vile Boggart and Luminolisk, 2 fantastic defensive cards. So you do get a +1 and first strike here, but I'm just going to take this, and I'm holding back all those creatures still. So here, I think I'm just going to do exactly what I said. Let's start with the Bile-Vile Boggart to give them as little info as possible. This makes my Crossroads Watcher a little bit chunkier. The Bristlebane Outrider is not reasonably blockable here, so let's just make the Watcher not in stat line where it can die to Gallant Foul Knight, crack in for a bunch of damage, and then I can play this card, gain 2, and I have a Death Toucher to block with. Oh, blunder. I should have played that before combat. I forgot that it would increase the damage from Crossroads Watcher. That was clumsy. I thought I was kind of removing a decision and making Crossroads Watcher, or removing information when they had to make a decision about blockers, and Crossroads Watcher would be at a stat line where it couldn't get killed except with a double block. But I forgot that, obviously, like, especially if they had double blocked, I would have wanted the extra power on Crossroads Watcher. So pretty bad moves by me, but that's okay. My opponent is currently stuck on only white. I can imagine they have a bunch of good green cards in their hand right now. But let's see if they can get out of this situation. Spiral on Bristlebane Outrider. Okay, that's a little annoying. That is a little annoying. So I still get to play Lissalina Informant. I don't think I want to Midnight Tilling here, because if I Midnight Tilling, I need to find a forest to also get to play Lissalina Informant, and my plan currently is make, let's say, Luminolisk a 3/5. Death Toucher is really hard to double block, so it probably just gets chump blocked. Play Lissalina Informant, buffing this to 4 power, and then attack with maybe all 3? No, probably just Luminolisk and Crossroads Watcher. So let's do that. What do you have at instant speed? Destroy target attacking creature, it looks like. So we might be in for just some simple board simplification. Oh, well, actually, this could be the instant speed. This could be the reason that they're getting priority right now. Yeah, I'll keep it. I'll draw Safe Right Cavalry next turn. That sounds good. So attack. Let's see what we got. We're putting a lot of pressure on right now. Safe Right Cavalry is only going to increase the pressure. Are you going to double block? Oh, you have what could it be? Riverguard's reflexes to give it first strike. Okay. Yeah, that's a little annoying. That makes my job a little bit harder. Oh, and now they're unlocked on green. Okay. Surly Farrier. That's not as scary as I would have worried the first card that they play when they get access to green mana would be. So now I think I very simply go Farrier on Lissalina Informant. They can block with their Farrier if they want to. And then I do attack with Bile Vile Boggart because it at least trades with a 1/1. So then I'm trading Bile Vile Boggart for a 1/1 and Lissalina Informant for Surly Farrier. Then I'm playing Safe Right Cavalry. So actually, you know what? I take it back. I'm just going to play Safe Right Cavalry. They don't seem to have a removal spell right now. And the threat of activation on Safe Right Cavalry is going to make blocking really hard for them. Now, what they could have done is Spiral into Solitude on my Bristlebane Outrider and then remove the counter when they play their creature. They can also make arbitrarily many 1/1s. So chump blockers. Okay, this means that they have a creature to play next turn, but the creature could just be activating Clash Festival. Another Surly Farrier. Okay, then. Oh, they're going to play their last card. That's good. I like to not have too much mystery about what my opponents have cooking. Gold Medal Nomad. That's just fine. Now, they do have infinite chump blockers, so I really want to find Marilyn or... I think... let's see. If I attack with Safe Right Cavalry, they have to block with 1 creature, and it has Vigilance, so this just eats a creature for me. Yeah, this just eats a creature. So let's go in with the Cavalry. They have to just chump block, essentially. I assume it will be with a 1/1. Really? That would be kind of a strange block. Yeah, this makes perfect sense. I could have attacked with Lissalina Informant, but then I'm priced into activating the Cavalry, and I'd rather just get a flyer here. Yeah, perfect. Okay, I was happy with Rooftop Percher, but Marilyn is the flyer of my dreams. And then I will play this. I mean, technically I could hold it for Lorwyn, but there's no reason not to. There's no Ravnica Rats in this set. I mean, there is a Ravenous Rats, not Ravnica Rats, sorry. There is Taster of Wares, but they don't have that mana. I will play Marilyn, see what we get off the top. I can play anything for 3 mana or less. So, we didn't hit, but that's okay. Then let's buff, probably just buff the Safe Right Cavalry again. I don't really need to put too much pressure on because now they have to draw an answer to Marilyn, which is lethal in 1 turn. So in with the Cavalry. I could also attack with Lissalina Informant and Bile Vile Boggart, but I just don't need to. Like, they literally have to top deck an answer to Marilyn. All right, so we're sitting at kind of parity here, but hopefully they didn't just draw a Liminal Hold. If they didn't, then Marilyn is a lethal attacker next turn. All right, sure. Oh, I like the idea of making a blocker here, making a 1/1, I mean, or a 2/2, it will trigger Maryland. The problem is I can only play something if it's an instant. So this might be a little bit silly. I'm actually just going to block. Let's see. They could have +3/+3 and trample. There's no way I'm dying here. All right. Let's just get rid of their creature. Maybe unnecessary to play this now, but it would be better on my turn because I'm so unlikely to find an instant. But yeah, I assume it didn't matter. All right. Very good. 2-1. We didn't get any play-in points towards the Arena Championships, but I feel like we emerged pretty unscathed given how thoroughly scathed we were during that draft. So, okay, we get 1,000 gems back and we live to fight another day. So next time, hopefully, I will increase my standing on the leaderboard, which I should have just made. And hopefully I'll get 3 wins and get some play-in points. Until then, have a great time playing Magic, everyone, and don't be afraid to splash.